Okay, what's going on, everybody? So we got the new MFDs in the .2 PTO patch, so we're going to take a look at those, and of course there's going to be a few bugs we're going to encounter because it is still PTU and it is alpha game, as we all know, and have come to accept it at this point in time in our lives. All right, so off the bat, these are leaps and bounds better than what we used to have. I mean, even in the PTU, I had a very good experience with these. They're easy to read. You now have an entire section in the menu for these, so you can keybind many things to them. You can keybind to change them, to cycle through them rather. You can cycle through each MFD. That's going to be really handy for ships that only have two, such as your fighters, like the Mark II Hornet. I believe only has two MFDs in it. Now, when you get into stuff like the Corsair, you probably are not going to have to keybind your MFDs because you have so many. You can just have them set. So some of the bad things, which is just stuff that has to get ironed out. There's a couple spots in the Corsair that is hard to interact with. The right MFD wants to keep opening up the back door when I'm trying to zoom in and interact with the screen. Not a huge thing. I mean, this has several more MFDs to use, but that's something that will that'll get ironed out with the bug fixes. Okay, so it's more or less how it was, but there are some new things such as the general screen. That'll give you access to being able to turn off the whole heads up on your visor completely, and some general settings like lag, lead pip, and some other different things that you would normally have to go back into the menu to change. Now those can be accessed right here, which is real nice. Then of course you have communications, which is, we've had that before. Shields. Shields looks a bit different, but you can click on the screen and change where your shields are going. And then of course you have the reset button. You have power management. Power management is a bit different now. Now it's ticks. It's more similar to Elite Dangerous if you've ever played that. One concern that I know at least myself and others had was if we'd still be able to do power to all with our keybinds. And yes, you can still send all power, or at least all available power, to guns, engines, shields. The only difference is now it is a hold versus just a click. I didn't see an option to send all power by just a single press. It is a hold, but I mean, it takes, half a second. So not a huge deal there. And if you still prefer just to hit ticks or clicks toward each thing, weapon or powers, you only want to send one tick to it, you can certainly keybind that as well. Okay, and of course you have self-status. That's going to show you things like how much ammo you have in each of your guns. Target status, so you'll have that. And target status can either be on an MFD or you can have it up on your visor display of your helmet. That's up to you how you want that displayed. And scanning. Scanning I like now. Scanning is on the, even with heads up display, when I scanned, at least the ship I scanned here, it didn't show me the player's name up in the right-hand corner. It does tell you if they're in any factions, what the ship is, how fast they're going, infrared, cross-section, all that good stuff. But me personally, I don't like anything up on my heads up. I want it to be on the MFD. But now you actually have to scan the ship to see what the player's name is. And I really like that. I actually think that's really cool. I like that a lot. So we go in here, we scan this guy, and we can see who this is. And it shows us right there. And it doesn't put all this junk up on your heads-up display, so you're no longer having to battle a book. We were just battling a bunch of letters, so all that is gone now, which is awesome. All right, so the only thing we have here is the distance away that the ship is, which is fantastic. So now we can watch the ships explode in all their glory. So my only complaint is the throttle limiter. I don't like the way the throttle limiter is. It still works the same, but the way that it's displayed to you is left to right, and it's just this expanding and contracting bar. Expanded all the way out, you're at top speed, and when you zoom in, that's slowing, your speed down. It just does not convey to my brain of how fast I'm going to be going. I guess eventually I'll get used to it, but it's not very intuitive out the gate. So yeah, outside of that, everything else is great. Okay, so since we are in the Corsair, as many of you know, if you don't know, the pilot only controls the top 2 guns and the 2 wing guns now. You do have to have a co-pilot to operate the bottom guns, and the co-pilot also still operates the remote turret, but only one at a time can be accessed. So your co-pilot will have to jump back and forth between those 2 depending on the situation. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the MFDs. Do you like them? Do you not like them? I know everybody's not gonna like not have control over your your 6 guns for the Corsair, unless you're on the other end of the Corsair. Then you're probably pretty happy about it. But anyway, that's it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and have a good one. See ya.